What's up, nigga?
You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another episode of Media Opinions. Today I just wanted to talk about my opinions on zombie media in general. I've also got Corbin here for this one, so there you go. It's pretty obvious I've been, really into, Walking Dead again with the Telltale series, so I've been playing that a lot, and that just made me kind of think of wanting to do a video talking about zombie media. And, I've had a very interesting relationship with the concept of zombie media, right? Zombies are iconic in culture, right? They've been around in media forever, and there's lots of tropes and things associated with them. I do like a good zombie movie or zombie game, but there was a point back when Walking Dead, the AMC show, was at its peak of popularity. I had sort of zombie fatigue, right? I was kind of burnt out on the concept for a minute there. But it's come and gone with that. I obviously don't have that now. There was a while where it was overexposed to shit. But there was also times where I was really into it. I was really into the Walking Dead show for the first 3 seasons. I also read the Zombie Survival Guide back when everybody was reading that. Mm-hmm. And I've already told the story before of this guy I went to high school with who nicknamed himself Digger, who believed that a zombie apocalypse was going to happen any day now. And he never used the term zombie apocalypse. He always said zombocalypse and combined the two. And he thought that McDonald's and Walmart were working together to bring on the zombocalypse. And my favorite things with zombies tend to be supernatural zombies. I have a very specific taste that I like with zombies that you don't really see anymore, because everything's virus zombies. Now, to me, I it's funny, a lot of the tropes we associate as cliches with zombie media, you don't really see anymore. The hand rising from the grave, which I think is a fucking awesome image. You never see that anymore. And graveyard scenes in general just aren't a thing, because zombies now are always living people who get bit and then turn. If anything, you're gonna see a hospital way before you'll see a graveyard, right? My favorite zombie movie of all time is 28 Days Later. I'm also a big fan of Shaun of the Dead, and I like a lot of zombie movies here and then. Zombie is also a pretty broad term. What constitutes zombies, right? Because you could make an argument something like Evil Dead could be zombies, right? They're demons, but
they totally are.
Yeah. They're zombies that are demon-possessed, right?
And the way they work is to zombies, too, the way they spread.
Yeah, and it is called The Evil Dead, right? It's the title alone, I think, definitely, So, if we're counting that,
Look at Jason.
Yeah, Jason Voorhees, yeah.
He is a zombie.
Zombie stuff, I think, is best when it's supernatural. Although I will say, supernatural zombies, I don't like it just to be Haitian shit. I like there to be sort of a spin on it, because, if it's just the Haitian shit, I'm not as, it can be interesting. There's some interesting lore and stuff with that, Haitian voodoo stuff. But I like it to be a little, I like it to be more nebulous than that, personally. I like it to be kind of unexplained what's causing it.
Oh, I see what you mean, but also, how many times has the zombie thing not been explained in media? There's so many movies where the cause of the zombie is not explained. When it isn't a virus, it's always
I can't think of any.
Walking Dead, they don't know what started.
Yeah, but it is a virus in Walking Dead as well.
Yeah. But they don't how that started. In any of the Night of the Living Dead or Day of the Dead.
Actually, Night of the Living Dead, it was aliens. Night of the Living Dead, it was alien radiation.
Did they say in the movie that it was alien radiation?
Yes, in Night of the Living Dead, originally, yeah. It came down on a comet, yeah.
What I like about, Witch Doctor, zombie, that it can... Well, I just like the voodoo, voodoo aesthetic of it. I don't know, I just don't think that there's a lot of cool, aesthetics to zombie movies. And voodoo was, kind of something that's, lost after the 40s.
It's more interesting.
Oh, I hear you. I think that the voodoo stuff can be done well, but to me, I like the shit, just some shit raising out in the graveyard, I'd rather it be instead of a voodoo ritual, I'd rather it basically just be the Necronomicon or something, you know what I mean? Or just an artifact or a curse creating them, I think would be really cool, personally. I like that just in concept, like in Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, it's this chalice or some shit that was Aztec mummy stuff. With an artifact or a curse, I think that's a really cool origin. To me,
yeah.
I'm not as into
Tibetan culture stuff is
yeah.
also kind of retarded.
Well, I don't need it to be accurate to any culture. Like, I want it to be a fictitious mythology that's its own thing. I don't need it to be.
It's never been accurate in 40 voodoo stuff.
The way it was done in the Army, Army of Darkness was very spot on. That's good.
Yeah, Army of Darkness does it great.
Make up everything. Yeah, just make up everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Even the comet idea is good, Just the comet flies over and causes... Because that's still supernatural, We've never experienced anything like that.
Yeah. I guess I'm just not as into the Haitian voodoo aesthetic. I think it works in some contexts. I'm just not as into it as you are, Corbin. I do like it in some contexts. It just depends.
We'll just look at all of it. Like, you got shrunken heads, voodoo dolls, zombies... And then you have just like the voodoo guy with a spear and a bone in his nose.
See, that's
like, I don't know, like that's all iconic to me. I love.
That's cool and all, but I personally I just don't like that as much. Like, I have a very particular vision in my head where I think of like a graveyard with like lightning striking a grave and a hand rising out of it, and then you basically get like Thriller but without the dancing.
You don't get it.
I love that more than viruses. That's also second to like viruses, like overdone zombie things,
Oh, yeah, the virus thing can work. Like I said, my favorite zombie movie is 28 Days Later, right?
Yeah. And Resident Evil has virus, but I think the way it does it is better than a lot of the other viruses.
Virus stuff works when there's variation, right? When you get things like Left 4 Dead.
The Infected. It had its time. The Infected concept. It had its time. Under death.
But yeah, don't misunderstand. I do like the voodoo stuff too. I just have like I want variety, I guess, in my supernatural zombies, too. Like, I want both.
Yeah. Well, the way I want, like, I'm caused by voodoo, but I want still be zombies rising out of the ground. I don't want it to be, like, just, they made people into, like, retard slaves.
Yeah. White Zombie was actually not that good of a movie. Like, it was alright, right?
A lot of those movies aren't good, but that's what I wish that but there's so much that could be done with the concept. What I want, you know what I mean? Is like that with voodoo. There's so much can be done, like fucking, I don't know, just so much weird shit that they did in 40.
Another trope I'm tired of seeing is like, if you destroy the brain, they're gone. Like, I miss headless zombies.
That's cool too.
There's a lot of tropes with modern zombie media that are really fucking annoying, and like, there's a lot of things you have to accept just as a given with like apocalyptic fiction in general, and especially with zombie apocalyptic fiction. You have to just imagine the world will always stay in a state of apocalypse, and you have to just kind of suspend disbelief on that people won't rebuild, like, especially when there's like 20 years in the future, or like even more than that, right? Like, obviously, there's a certain suspension of disbelief you have to have with apocalyptic fiction, and it's not a criticism that I'm genuinely making as the genre. It's something that I can deal with and something that I don't mind. I'm just saying there are certain things you have to deal with that. And there are times where it's like, well, the military could probably deal with an outbreak like this pretty quickly. And there are movies, as I'll mention later in the video, like Train to Busan, or like games, like Corbin will mention later, like Resident Evil, which actually do show more realistic interpretations of how quickly something like that can be dealt with. But there are a lot of tropes that you do have to just kind of accept when you're getting into this media. But there are also a lot of irritating tropes, like I said, like the shot through the head instantly kills them because it's a virus. Oh, you gotta destroy the brain. And I miss things like headless zombies, or, body parts coming to life and things like that. Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. Okay, what I was going to say is that I like zombies that are hard to kill. So... Yeah. Whenever you try to kill a zombie, and let's say the characters in the movie or in the game try to do your typical run-of-the-mill things like what you were saying, cut their head off, chop them up into little pieces, but the pieces keep moving, kind of like in Return of the Living Dead. It's awesome.
Honestly, I was going to say Return of the Living Dead is one of my favorite zombie movies. It has a lot of what I want.
It's so good.
It's there's perfect. A pretty iconic graveyard scene. Tarman himself is just a really cool zombie.
He's scary, yeah. He's actually scary.
And shortly after we recorded the audio for this, we actually watched Return of the Living Dead again, and honestly, I gotta say, that movie hits a lot of what I want with zombie movies. Like, it hits a lot of the things that I want to see in a zombie movie. It's great. Like, with zombie media, like I said, there was a time where it was everywhere, and I did get burnt out and fatigued on it. Right. That's, like I said, long since passed. And I still like the AMC Walking Dead show, at least, like I said, the first 3 seasons. And I want to see the Negan stuff, because Negan seems like a character I would vibe with, but it's like getting there is the chore.
I mean, I don't really care about any of the characters in Walking Dead, to be honest, except for Negan and, well, some other characters for, like, the bad guys.
Here's the thing, like, women have ruined him, but I do like Daryl. And I also really liked Merle, Daryl's fucking skinhead biker brother. I liked him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite zombie game is obviously Telltale's The Walking Dead, and then I'd say second would probably be Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. See, Undead Nightmare has a lot of what I want in it, too, because, like, there's literally, like, parts where you go and cleanse the graveyard, and there's things like holy water and shit like that in it that you use.
As a kid with zombies, my introduction to zombies was, like, both Resident Evil, like, the first 2 games, and like, Call of Duty Black Ops, like, Nazi zombies.
Well, and that's another thing that also added, I think, to the overexposure, was like, I like Call of Duty Zombies, but it became a bit much after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You remember
I
how
don't
many
care.
people
The
were
only-
obsessed with that?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I'll tell you this, like, with Call of Duty Zombies, I feel like the best ones were when it was, like, the 4 main guys, like, fucking, you had Tank, you had, what was his name, Nikolai, you had, fucking Toshio, and then you had the GOAT, fucking Richtofen.
So it's cool with
Yeah,
the
of course.
presidents, too, that we can be, like, Nixon and JFK.
Yeah, no, I like some of those, too, and
That is cool.
there is also the one, what was it, is it Call of the Dead, where you play as, like, a bunch of different celebrities?
Yeah, that one's good.
It was Michael Rooker, Robert Englund, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Danny Trejo is
Yeah.
and apparently George Romero appears in it as, like, a boss zombie.
Yeah, he's like an unkillable guy, yeah. Walks
What
around in space with fuck shit.
What I wanted to say about, like, Reception or virus for me, though, is, like, it's pharmaceutical companies that start the zombie virus outbreak, and then it's, like, dealt with very quickly with military action in every game. Like, most of the games are based on different outbreaks that happen that are solved relatively quickly with military action, and like, if later on it becomes like terrorists using like bioweapons to make zombies, stuff like that, and it gets really cool. So I mean, like, and a lot of the times they're not even regular zombies, they turn into like giant type monsters with giant eyeballs growing out of them, like kinds of cool shit, and tentacles, and there's and it's not just virus zombies but parasite zombies.
But yeah, the Zombie Survival Guide was a fun book, too. Like I said, that guy Digger, he took it, like, as gospel, which was really funny.
Yeah, I remember having that book. I got that book, I think, for Christmas, maybe my birthday. Oh, God.
You know, the guy who made it also is the guy who wrote World War Z.
I didn't like World War Z.
I've only seen the movie, so I didn't much care for it either, but I don't know if the book's any better.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I'm just like, well, I think virus too is, but like, I don't know where it's like, oh, they're fast zombies, they're like crawling on top of each other. I don't know. Personally, I don't like fast zombies or like the zombies that are like exceptionally like strong. Like, I kind of like it when they're like slow rotting corpses.
I think it
really
depends. I think both work. Because, like, I like the shit that they got in, like, Left 4 Dead, and, like, again, my favorite zombie movie, 28 Days Later, they're fast in that. They're fast as fuck.
Well, 28 Days Later isn't even, like, just good because of the zombies. Like, it's kind of, I like that movie because of the way the way it's shot. Like, it's very good,
Well, also Frank is, like, a really good character, you know, the older guy.
also, like, the way it started with a monkey.
Yeah, the monkey thing, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, again, this would have been...
Mostly, like, when they show, like, how destroyed the world is. That was the thing about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of areas where zombies have not been utilized. Remember, I was talking about that the other day.
Like medieval.
Yeah, exactly. There's settings where zombies have not been implemented, and I think
Like-
that they should be. And
Like with medieval zombies,
I
the only
think-
time I can name is, like, Army of Darkness. That's the only one I can think of.
exactly. And look how perfect that worked out, you know? So I think that medieval zombies would be a perfect setting. You could do ancient Egypt. There's several different cool areas you could do zombies at. You can make them mummies and shit, you know.
Hell yeah! I mean,
Just like
Yeah, I mean, a mummy is.
well, yeah, that's the thing
Yeah,
I liked
exactly.
about that's the thing I liked about Undead Nightmare. Is at the end of it, like, it was actually Aztec mummies that, like, started the zombie thing in Undead Nightmare.
yeah, that's cool and it's original, and I like that. I want to see more of that.
I wonder if anything's done like except like Native American. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Like, I know that I'd also put Monster Madness in top 10 for zombie games, even though that game is a fucking pain in the ass in some sections. Like
Monster
that.
Madness Battle for Suburbia.
Yes, I love that game. The highway level always pisses me off. And I know that that's not just zombies, but zombies are the bulk of it. Like, there's a bunch of different monsters in that game, but...
Yeah.
Last of Us is another overrated like zombie. Like, I think that the zombies in Half-Life are way.
Well, yeah, the Half-Life headcrabs are awesome, but I won't
Yeah.
I won't diminish, though, that it is cool that Last of Us did cordyceps, because cordyceps are a real and freaky thing.
Yeah, but they did. I don't think they did it very well.
I don't know, I've only played a little bit of it, because Theron has me playing it, because he's playing Walking Dead, so he's having me play Last of Us. I told him I refuse to play the DLC or 2, though. I'm only playing the base game. Because I'm not going to play that shit that makes Ellie a lesbian, and I'm not going to play that shit where you play as that dumb dyke that kills Joel. And I even told Theron, like, I used to joke that, you know, Walking Dead was like Last of Us, but good. Because I think Lee and Clementine is way better of a dynamic than fucking Joel and Ellie.
Of course it is.
Also, think about like not zombies, but Cannibal Holocaust. Another one that fits into like that's close to what I kind of would like with zombies.
See, that's
It's like crazy tribal, like
That's kind of
becoming
taking a
zombies
different
is to
turn.
me.
That's a little bit too different from it. It's kind of diverging too much, I think, though.
Well, no, I mean, because he
Well,
wants...
I'm not saying that literally. I'm saying if they were like zombies, like I'm saying like a tribal like zombie.
Yeah, like, he's not saying literally just Cannibal Holocaust. He's saying he wants that kind of tribal imagery and aesthetic, but with zombies. Whereas, like, I get that, but to me, like, I view that, like, if I want to watch a cannibal movie, that's the vibe I'm looking for. That's not the vibe I'm looking for in a zombie movie. Like, to me, a zombie movie, you're, like, in your, like, backyard, and, like, all of a sudden you see, like, a corpse walking towards you, you know, or there's, like, a graveyard and they rise up, you know? Like, I don't typically imagine, like, a guy with a bone in his nose, you know, going ooga booga and shit, and then having zombies pop up.
I do like that, and I think that's funny, but yeah.
And that's what Corbin wants in a
I
zombie
also
movie.
that
Like,
you can do like sort of like do a more messy though. Do stuff about immigration or tribalism. You can have it, and it adds an aesthetic over it. And
I
you can
suppose.
also put rotting like ground like put-ins like rottings. That
sure. I just, like, to me, I also don't need my zombie movies to have a message either.
I mean, it is like how many times that's where it can get boring if it's just if it's the same thing whether it's them coming out of the ground or viruses. Like
I'm just saying, like, a
that's
lot
the
of,
whole
like,
point.
everyone would think of the shit that I envision as being a cliche, but literally the only one I can think that hits, like, all the points I think of is, like, Evil Dead or Return of the Living Dead. That's, like, the only two I can think of that are even close to what I'm talking about.
There's a lot of like zombies from between the 60s and 80s though that are essentially the same thing where they're coming out of the ground.
Well, and as I said,
And
it's
they're
a
alive
genre.
zombies.
It's a genre that can get boring and oversaturated for sure. But anyway, another really good zombie movie is Train to Busan. That movie's pretty cool, and it's kind of realistic too, because they actually deal with they deal with the outbreak within like a few hours. But the whole movie takes place during that time, and it takes place on a train for most of the movie.
And what you're saying too, demonic zombie.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really cool. But I also see
Alright.
that like tribals, it's all voodoo, whatever. It's like usually still demonic.
Yeah.
I
But
got a question. for both of you.
All
Would
right.
you classify deadites as zombies?
Yes.
yes,
Okay, so that's my favorite type of zombie.
Yeah.
I like when zombies have sentience of a human.
in the zombies from I would say the things from Cross too though they're just like rapist zombies.
The things from what?
Frost.
Prost? I'm not familiar.
Those are more infected to me.
Zombie. I don't different.
I guess, yeah, they're like 28 days later zombies. They're just basically infected.
Yeah.
They're
not
infection zombies that
flesh
rape
eating.
every. That's
Well, they're actually not zombies because
Because-
they're killed like a normal person. they just have a disease.
That's not separating zombies. A lot of times, I don't know. It's like.
Well, yeah, you got to remember the term zombie.
I don't think of zombies as a specific anything. I don't think there are many zombies. It could be like any kind of brainwash, or it could be any kind of like. It can be a mental slave, or it can be a rotting corpse, or it can be possessed, or it can be or an infected.
Yeah, the term zombie was originally referring to mind control.
Yeah, like it can be anything. But like
I
with
just
Cross,
think
I
the
just think
creator
the concept
himself
of
is
zombies that are just filled with like so much, not like they're just compulsive, like they just compulsively want to eat and fuck everything. That kind of concept is cool too.
Also, you know another trope you never fucking see anymore? Zombies eating brains, specifically. Now they just bite people in general and like chew. Cool. Like in the old day, they used to, and like literally you'd have the cliche of brains. You never see that anymore either.
That started. Was that Return of the Living Dead started that, right?
It might have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it definitely had it.
I think
yes, it did.
Yeah.
She's slashy.
I don't know though, but I really want to work on. I don't know if I'm gonna do it for a video for my channel or what, but I want to work on something that I'll like draw art for or whatever. Do something with zombies. Because I really want I want to do my vision for zombies.
Zombie,
okay.
A bone hat, with a top hat, bone through the nose, going ooga booga.
Well, he wouldn't be the zombie. That would be the guy that rises.
Yeah, like you want fucking Baron Samedi to show up and raise the zombies up.
Baron Samedi, I need you to summon the undead man.
And they would use something like Necronomicon, but it would be like a Haitian.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Toodles.